to this episode of Candid Kaya. Today I am here with businesswoman and entrepreneur Victoria, who is actually a part-time MBA student. So she does it all, y'all, and she's here to tell us more about it. So stay tuned as Victoria tells us what it's like working and being a student. Hello, Victoria.
Hello, Kaya. How are you?
Doing well, thank you.
Good.
Let's start with just telling the viewers a little bit about yourself.
Well, my name is Victoria Apenteng. I am 28, originally from Houston, Texas, but I am Ghanaian as well. Both my parents are from there. I went to Spelman, graduated class of 2014. Currently, I'm an evening MBA student at Emory, and I work as a marketing project manager in the media and entertainment world, in the news world. So I do that. Plus, I have my side business, Body by Victoria, where I promote fitness and health and wellness just as a lifestyle. So that's my thing. That's what I love to do. So that's a little bit about me.
All right, y'all heard it first. Businesswoman, student, entrepreneur. Basically, she's everything, you guys. So you mentioned you were a part-time MBA student.
Yeah.
So tell us a little bit more about what that means.
Oh, honey. I mean, so on top of already working full time, I also am an evening MBA student. So I have classes 2 to 3 times a week after working my 9 to 5. And basically, that to me, that's like commitment. Because if you're trying to better yourself already as a professional, it's like on top of whatever you're already doing, you have to add more to it, but you know it's going to pay off in the long run.
Right.
So for me, that's what that means. It's like I decided to make this commitment to myself and to just the growth of my development. And so the program allows for me to do that while working full time. And I see the benefits of being in the program while also working because I'm learning skills that help me in the workforce and I can actually practice them at the same time.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. So tell us a little bit more about what do you think the value is of the MBA? Why did you even decide to get that?
Right. So I thought in the long run, what exactly do I want to do? And eventually I plan to run businesses. Like I plan to be the top of, like a company running it. And so with that, I feel like an MBA allows for you to have just the education behind like what it means to be a leader. For me, that's what an MBA is. It's like you are bettering yourself as an individual, as a leader, as a professional in all of those aspects. And for me, an MBA just helps that tremendously because it allows for you to learn how to run a business, but also you can take different classes in different areas and different fields. Wherever you want to be in, you can take those classes to help you in those ways. So that's why I was like, an MBA is it for me because eventually I want to be, the boss lady. Like that's the plan. So that's why an MBA is what I decided to go with.
So tell us a little bit about the preparation process. So, of course, you had to take a test. Yeah. How did you kind of balance studying and working?
I remember.
Side note, we met.
Yes,
practicing for the GMAT.
Literally, in the course together. That's where we met. But I would say, I mean, when I was studying while also working full time, it's like you just have to have a strict like schedule. That's the thing. You have to be dedicated to it and just know that, okay, I'm not going to go out every night and I'm not going to be able to always do everything that I want to do other than work and studying. Like it might just need to be that for some time, but it's worth it. And I remember just there would be days where I would come home from work and then I would have to either, if I worked out in the morning, okay, perfect, got that out the way. But if I didn't, I would have to go work out. And then after working out, I would like open my book and study for like 2 to 3 hours every night studying for the exam. And I took the prep course with you. So that was it. We also did that and that helped. But it's also about making sure that you're running through the problems continuously to engrave them in your mind. Because a lot of the stuff is things that we've done in the past that like when you're out of school, you're like, oh my goodness, like I gotta relearn that stuff. So that's what I did. I made sure to have a strict schedule. Like on the weekdays after work, I would work, like study for about 2 to 3 hours. And then on the weekends, I would just do practice exams. So yeah.
Well, y'all heard it first. She's a busy woman.
Fun stuff.
So, for example, I'm a full-time MBA student and Victoria is part-time. So what do you think are some of the benefits of being a part-time MBA student besides working and still getting an income?
Right. So I would say the network that I'm building right now is huge to that. I'm currently working with multiple people, like my classmates have an anesthesiologist in my class. Like I'm a marketing project manager in the news and media world, and he's an anesthesiologist. Like things like that. Like you're building your network and network on top of that, and it's like you're able to meet these people while you are learning and being a student, but you never know where you can meet them again in life. And so it's great that we're building these relationships and these rapport with one another, because eventually we could possibly work together in the future in some way or in some shape or form. You never know. And also it's great because, like, let's just say if eventually you're looking for a position and somebody that you have been a classmate with knows of, oh, like, let me, tell you about this position where, like, you never know. Those connections are so beneficial, and it's really great to be in the program because right now, like I said, I'm able to utilize what I'm learning in school in the workforce.
Right.
So it's literally like I learned something in class one day, I can go into my workplace and be like, okay, so this is what this is what I learned. Just like this upcoming semester, I'm taking digital and social media strategy. I work as a marketing professional in brand strategy. So it's like I could utilize the things that I'm learning in that class in my work. So things like that are why I feel like part-time is so beneficial, and that's why I decided to go with it.
All right, let's see, Victoria. So you're coming from Spelman, as I am, so liberal arts school. So just thinking about that experience, how do you think business school is just different overall?
Oh, wow. I always tell people this. It's a whole different language. A whole different language. Business school, y'all, is it's a whole different language. Like, if you thought that, like, you were going to get into it and not experience something new, even if you were a business undergrad student, because I was psychology pre-medicine, and I concentrated in industrial and organizational psych. So that kind of it's like business psychology. So it surrounds psychology basically in the business world. That's what IO Psych is. But I would say when you get to business school, it's a whole different ball game. Like, you're dealing with accounting and finance and all these things. And if you've never experienced it before, it is a whole new world. Like, it's different than even, okay, I was a pre-med student and I had to know, like pre-cal and calculus and stats and all this stuff. But that's a whole business school, and like the math is completely different. So you have to be open to it, and you just have to know, okay, this is something completely new that I'm learning if you haven't experienced it before. And even if you have, it's harder because it's grad school. So,
That's facts.
So that's how I that's how I picture it. That's what it is for me. So yeah.
All right. Yeah, I could agree with everything she just said. Now, Victoria, I'm going to ask for a little bit of your advice.
Okay.
What would you tell someone who is considering doing an MBA or not doing the MBA?
I would say first, make sure you know why you want to get an MBA and what do you see yourself using it for. Because for me, it's not necessarily I want to climb the ladder at my job. It's I want to be a leader wherever I go. I want to be an executive. I want to be a top executive. I want to know my stuff. I don't want somebody to tell me something about my business analytics and for me to just be like, oh, okay, and not be able to understand what it says. Like, I want to know what it says, even if you're telling me that. I can double check and be like, oh yeah, you're right. So that was it for me. But whoever is deciding between an MBA or not to get one, I would say you need to know what exactly you're getting it for. Like, is it going to be worth it to you in the long run? Is it going to help you to reach the goals that you're trying to obtain later on in life? Like, what is the reason you're trying to get it? And if you think that, the pros of getting it outweighs any of the cons, then go ahead and do that. Because I wouldn't have chosen any other program for me, because I just think this is like perfect for what I'm trying to do in the future.
Right.
Yeah, so it's just about what knowing what exactly you want to do in the future, and if it's in alignment with that, go ahead and get it.
All right. What would you tell someone who is scared that if they do the part-time program that they won't be able to give their best energy at work or in their other endeavors?
So that's a great question. Because there are days where sometimes I'm like, okay, I just had to stay up super late to finish some school stuff, and now I have to be up early in the morning to go to work. And like, okay, Victoria, like turn it on in your head, like mentally, but put it on for work, because some days I'm just like, I really just want to call out, like like it's been a long night. But I would say that if you're scared about that, start learning how to manage your time before you even get into any of that, because you're gonna have to be on it. Like your life has to be on it. Like there are days, I remember when I first was like an interest at Emory, and I would go and to their little networking events. And I remember one of the young women that were speaking on a panel, she said, literally there are days where I bring a bag for the entire day and it stays in my car. Like I go from work to working out. Then I go on a date with my boy. Like she's like, she goes on a date with her boyfriend, and then she's like, da 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 da. Like she's saying all this, and but this was before I started the program, and like that's literally how life is. So it's like if you're worried about that and not being able to balance it, maybe that's not the best program for you. But if you see yourself as being able to handle all of that, then do it, because it's beneficial in the long run. And I promise you, you will gain so much from experiencing this by being an evening MBA student and working full time. Like your discipline is not is
That's true.
gonna be so advanced. People will literally, once you actually are finished with the program and you're back to your regular life of just working, nothing will be able to stop you. Like if they ask you certain things to do at work, and you're trying to balance, like eventually in the future if you want to have kids and a family and a husband or wife or whatever, it's like in your head you've already experienced like having to take on so much, while possibly, even because there are people in my class currently that have families that are married. It's like if you're able to do all that, like I know one of my classmates, he has triplets right now with his wife. You know what I mean? If you're able to do that, like what can't you do? Like, so I would just say that, like, if you know that you're going to do it, just set your mind for that. Set your mind on that. Know that that's something that you're going to have to take on, and take it on. But if you don't feel like that's the best idea for you, then don't do it, because it is a lot. It's a commitment. It's responsibility. It's what you decide to take on. So it's just what you prefer.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
All right. So this will be my last question,
Okay.
Victoria. And it's a finish my sentence. Y'all know I like to do those. So it is, I want my MBA to
teach me things that I don't already know, to advance to a level as a leader that I foresee in the future. So
okay, boom
yeah.
shakalaka, there it is.
Whoa.
There you go. All right, everyone. This concludes today's interview. Victoria, tell them how they can keep up with you and Body by Victoria.
Oh yeah, of course. If you want to keep up with me, I'm on social media currently. It's West with 2 T's, African Woman, and Body by Victoria. I show like all my fitness stuff on there, and I will continue to do that. And you all will see, what is to come from that. So I'm excited. But yeah, just follow me on there.
All right, perfect. And I'll leave that in the comments. If you guys have any questions for Victoria or myself, just leave them below and we'll make sure that they get answered. Again, thank you all for tuning in, and we'll see you again next time.
Alrighty.